This resource explores how to use the Learning Progression resource books to identify strategies. The learning intentions are to identify components of the embedded literacy and numeracy process, and to select appropriate activities and strategies based on assessment results. Before we begin, it's a good idea to review what embedded literacy and numeracy is. People often hear the term embedded and conclude that it refers to the literacy and numeracy that is hidden within vocational content. This is not quite correct. When asking what is embedded literacy and numeracy, we can refer to the TEC document Strengthening Literacy and Numeracy, the Theoretical Framework. This document tells us that the links between literacy and numeracy learning and vocational learning are clearly and explicitly identified, and explicit literacy and numeracy instruction is provided as it is required for the vocational tasks at hand. The key word here is explicit, and we're going to look at how the resource books help facilitate this. The embedded literacy and numeracy process is made up of three equal components. Identify the three components of the embedded literacy and numeracy process. The three components are know the demands, know the learner, and know what to do. And there are resources that support each component. Know the demands, the Learning Progression Framework, know the learner, the assessment tool, and know what to do, the resource box. This resource covers the use of the assessment tool and the resource box. Let's use a real learner to demonstrate the selection and planning of an embedded literacy and numeracy strategy. This is a learner's assessment report. First, identify at what step did the learner score. The learner scored at step 3, which you can see here. Here we have a selection of the Learning Progression resource books. Which of these books would be most appropriate for the learner who completed the previous assessment? There are 3 resource books designed to address numeracy, however 2 directly address the assessment results. That is, Teaching Adults to Make Sense of Number to Solve Problem, and Teaching Adults to Measure and Interpret Shape and Space. Both of these books contain strategies that can be used to improve learners' numeracy skills. And now we're going to look within the Teaching Adults to Make Sense of Number to Solve Problems resource book to identify strategies appropriate for the learner who completed the assessment. Each of the Learning Progression resource books has an organising table like this to allow you to select appropriate strategies for learners at various steps on the learning progressions. Which of the following activities can be found at step 3? These activities are designed to develop the skills of learners scoring at step 3. This table also allows you to select activities that will progress the learner from the step they're on to the step they need to be at, and allows you to plan those strategies in a sequence. We're now going to look at how to use this table to find an appropriate activity. Your question is, what activity would be appropriate for somebody at step 4 looking to develop their multiplication skills? Multiplication strategies, found on page 39 of the resource book, is appropriate for a learner scoring at step 4. In the clip, using the Learning Progression resource books to plan and implement strategies, we will review how to use the strategies in the resource books to develop literacy and numeracy skills.